You know, what I like about recipes, you know, I'm here to try to, sort of change the way that you cook. You know, a lot of people, they might know a couple recipes. If I can, I'm trying to show you some techniques and some recipes that will change the recipes you already know. So what I'm going to show you today is how to make some pickled red onions. Obviously, I'm sort of on this pickling kick, and these pickled red onions are awesome. We're putting them on, you know, like cold cut sandwiches, you know, roast beef sandwiches, turkey sandwiches. We're going to put them on maybe a steak sandwich in another episode. You know, you can put them on just about anything. Mexican food, they go well with pork. They go with, you know, breakfast burritos. Love them. Okay. We're going to start out. I have 1 cup of apple cider vinegar. You could also use red wine vinegar. I like one of those too. You could go with other types of vinegar too, or you could try it. These are my favorite. And we'll start heating that just a little bit higher than medium. Eventually it's going to bring it to a boil. We're going to end up dissolving some sugar. I have 2 tablespoons of, I'm using a raw sugar. I have just about a pinch of salt, you know. I have some whole spices. You know, I've been cooking with these whole spices lately. Of course, I get my whole spices from my ma out of San Francisco. It's fall, so we're using allspice. I have 4 allspice berries. I have 4 peppercorns. I have 4 whole cloves, 1 bay leaf. All goes in the pot. Once this heats up a little bit, I'll add this sugar and salt. We're going to cut the onion. And what we're going to do is just cut real thin as you can get them, rings. It's okay if they're not all rings. Obviously, I'm not getting all rings, so. And this is going to make about enough for 2 small mason jars. This vinegar's almost boiling. Add a little bit of that salt. 2 tablespoons of this raw sugar. It won't take long to dissolve it because, you know, you have the acidity from the vinegar. And as you can see, it's not really too much to look at, but you have the berries start to float. They'll be sort of flavoring this vinegar. You have the bay leaf in there. The salt is, and the sugar is basically dissolved. Alright, we got a pretty nice boil on here. It's only a cup of liquid, so it doesn't really take very long. You want to take all these onions, put them down in there. If your onion's really big, this one might be just a little bit big. You could add just a little bit more vinegar in there, but they usually sort of cook down and will end up all being covered by the vinegar. You can see here, you know, now we have them in the pan, and that vinegar has basically covered all of them. As they cook down, they'll cook down just a little bit more. They will even cook down just a little bit. Then we're just going to leave them in that pan, doing about just a little bit longer here on the heat. Alright, it's been about a minute. I'm going to shut that heat off. As you can see, now they've already sort of cooked down a little bit more, so they are totally covered in that vinegar. And you can see every once in a while, you know, these spices, you can see them in there. Like I said, just kind of remember how many you put in. I put in 4 of everything. It's easy to keep track of that way. 1 bay leaf. And we're just going to set these aside. You're going to let them cool, and then, you know, once they're totally cool, I like to stick them in a couple mason jars, stick them in the refrigerator, and they're ready to go.
This is what I thought that you would not believe. This is what I thought that you would not believe. at the restaurant when we said we'd meet. That I would propose to you like you wanted me. Champagne bottles popping, I'd be on one.
Alright, these pickled red onions have cooled completely in that pan. We put them in the jar, put them in the refrigerator for a little bit. You know, they'll come out, they look real interesting. I mean, this color is just, you know, vibrant, beautiful. And you can use these in all sorts of different styles. Like I said, deli sandwiches, awesome on deli sandwiches. You know, they'll sort of kick up your ordinary deli sandwich that you might eat every day, and they'll just add this extra punch to it. Mexican food, breakfast burritos, steak sandwiches, any other kind of sandwich goes well with, you know, like Mexican pork dishes. And, you know, they'll come out, and the whole thing sort of turns this reddish pink color here. So, you're going to love them. Try them out. And now that I started making these, I'm never without a jar of these in my refrigerator because I like them so much. Alright, I'll see you next time on Funktified Food. I'm still Dan Valencourt. This is Funktified Food.
This at my feet, darling, don't you think I'd be